So much stuff happened, and some that did not.
So much?
So
Not
much
really.
stuff? Not really.
Cool stuff
Stuff happened.
But I don't know about so much.
Hey everybody! So we're doing Game of Thrones Season 6, Episode 3.
Whoa.
I know, it's like
That was very dramatic.
it was.
Episode 3! Whoa! Boom!
You gotta be a little dramatic.
Ninjas, explosions.
Yeah, exactly. Ninjas and explosions. So
Game of Thrones, Episode 3.
yeah,
That's all you need to say.
It's the third episode.
Game of Thrones,
this-
Episode 3, done. Boom.
So we started out, we thought, or at least I thought, that they would start the episode with Khaleesi.
Yeah, they started with Jon Snow. That makes more sense. That they would start with Jon Snow, because...
Exactly. Yeah, they ended the second episode with the... So it makes sense that they would start the new episode with...
Did he breathe out?
But I was just saying, it's like, if you're going to end the episode, then you kind of have to start with the... Like, anyway.
I thought it was kind of crazy that they didn't give him any pants. Like, if I woke up dead like that, I'd be like, dude, you could have at least, like
Put
left
pants
my
on me."
pants on me, please.
A shirt.
Because
Something that could pull down under
there's
my
a lot
crotch.
of shrinkage.
Yeah.
here.
You basically just left me dead and small,
Yeah, thanks, guys.
naked.
Thanks.
I mean,
Give me some pants.
even in the episode, the guy's like, "No, I know you're really back because a real god wouldn't have a penis your size."
Was it God or...
He was saying like a god. Like,
Oh, okay.
a god wouldn't have a dick as small as yours.
Wow.
It's like, oh wow, thanks. Pants.
Thanks.
Pants.
God.
Give us some pants, man.
There's some decency here.
And I know a lot of people wanted Jon Snow's butt, but they only got like the top.
Yeah, I think that
third.
was just like a chance of them to put a little bit of
Naked snow.
butt in there. Yeah.
Get enough naked snow for the ladies to woo.
Swoon over.
Be like,
Yes.
oh,
Ooh,
yummy.
But
But anyway,
I mean, they have enough boobs and vagina. I mean, you gotta.
there was no nudity in this episode.
Whoa.
None.
Except for half of Jon Snow's butt.
Yeah, we got the top 1/3
Well,
of
they
Jon
ripped
Snow's
off.
butt.
They ripped off Khaleesi's clothes, but they didn't show her.
They didn't show it.
Just her back. I think they showed.
Yeah, they just showed her back and then they gave her clothes right away.
Yeah. Which was nice. You should not leave people naked everywhere.
Exactly. Don't leave people naked. But, so with going back to Snow. So,
Yes, no.
Snow's back to life.
He is back to life. Or is he? And
Ish.
what is he ish?
Well, we were
Is he
talking about
still-
his wounds. Like, you were saying, like, they didn't sew up any of his wounds, which is true.
Yeah, I mean, I assume his blood. You said his blood couldn't clot. I don't know all these super science biology.
Well,
stuff,
the
but-
thing is, like, after a body is dead,
I mean, I'm sure his
can't-
blood dried
it
up.
dried.
But I
Right.
don't know if it clotted. But
But if you see a wound from someone that is dead, it's kind of open. And obviously he's dead because all of the blood drained out of him.
yeah.
So what's keeping him alive? It's not like the magic created blood. There's something else
I
going
mean,
on.
he could be reinvigorated, and his blood cells could be splitting as we speak. More blood could be. He looked pale.
Yeah.
I mean, he still looked pale, like. But I mean, who knows what the spell or whatever it was. He could be a zombie. I don't know. He doesn't act like one. He acts like a human.
Right. So he has like the thoughts and the memories and the feelings of a human. He's not a White Walker, obviously. I mean, even one of the guys mentioned, he's like, "Oh,
No.
your eyes are still brown. That means you must
That's
be human."
good. Yes.
But he doesn't seem to have any pumping blood. So why is he alive?
He could still be pale because of lack of blood. I mean, he doesn't. How alive is he, and is something that'll come up later, I assume.
Or maybe he just hasn't had enough sun being on the wall for so long.
He wasn't that pale before.
True. But,
he got some sun in the off season.
When he went to, vacation in Westeros.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what they do, like, the other 42 weeks of the year.
They go to Winterfell and vacation. Oh, man, it's so hot down here in Winterfell.
Yeah.
If only you guys were at the wall. It's so cold up there.
It is freezing.
Snow, what are your thoughts? Like, at the end of the episode, spoilers, obviously the whole thing spoilers.
Spoilers.
But at the end of the episode, he said, "My watch is done."
Yeah.
And he left.
Yeah.
Now, technically, his watch is done because he died doing his job.
He did die doing his job. I mean, I don't know if they have to get a few lawyers in there to figure out if he's doing the right thing or the wrong thing, or should they kill him. But I kind of agree with you. He fulfilled his oath. I mean, the show was called Oathbreaker. And
But
they'll probably have that in the book, Oathbreaker, but he didn't really. I mean, I don't know if he really
didn't break his oath.
He died protecting the wall.
And that's the end of the oath.
Yeah, so he fulfilled his oath. I agree with you.
Yeah, so he fulfilled his oath. He's not breaking it, I don't think. And then he just leaves. At the end of
They called the show Oathbreaker, though.
Yeah, but he didn't break an oath.
He didn't. I don't know why
He fulfilled his oath. He died. They freaking killed him.
I agree with you. I'm
Now,
just saying why they called the episode Oathbreaker.
Well, I think they're calling it that because he's saying my watch is done, and then he walks off. So they're like, "Oh, he's breaking his." But I don't know. I think we're at differences with the naming of the episode. Like we're giving an idea of something that they're either not considering or just skipping over.
I don't know. I think he fulfilled his watch.
I think he did too.
Fulfilled his oath.
He freaking died.
He did. I think he's probably off. I mean, where is he gonna go? I mean, is he gonna go on another vacation to Westeros? No, that's too early. It's 7 weeks too early.
Right.
I think he's gonna go find more men. I think that's what he wants to go do.
To protect.
But he did it in a really cool way. Like,
right.
Here, take this. I'm super cool still. Take this. You
He's
can
like,
be you.
I'm
I'm
done.
I'm out of here.
Out of here.
He just did it in a really, he did a really cool, dramatic way.
So then like the next episode or two, he's gonna come back with an army and be like, "I'm back. I'm gonna take care of this."
I think he's getting more men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I was asking you about this because I was a bit fuzzy on it. Does nobody besides the people at the wall, no one south of the wall, knows that the White Walkers even exist?
Well, they know they exist. They know there's strange things are up there or weird. There's some freaky, weird things going on above the wall. I mean, I don't know the exact wordage, but they're kind of like, they know there's strange beings up above the wall.
Do they know they can control the dead and bring them back to life and turn them into an army?
Not really.
So
that's why it's so crazy in the episodes.
Because
you're learning who they are, the White Walkers.
Because for a long time I was like, how come no one in Westeros, no one in Westeros is like concerned about what's going on above the wall?
They don't. I mean, in the books, you have people from the wall telling people, like in Winterfell, and King's Landing, and all these other places, they're trying to recruit people for the wall. They don't really show it in the TV show, but nobody is. They can't. So they don't have enough men. And I remember one scene with King's Landing. There, like, it was with Cersei, and she was like, "No, we're fighting a war. We're not gonna give you any men. We don't care." So they don't. they don't really. They don't know exactly what's going on up there. They're so selfish and greedy that they don't care,
Right.
and they should care, but they don't.
But they have no frame of reference. It's as if they think the White Walkers are this like mythological creature.
Yeah, it's almost mythical.
They're like, oh, you're just fairy tailing to try and get guys.
Well, I think they're just greedy. Yeah, I don't know. I think they're just greedy for power, and they don't care what happens above the wall because they're so concerned with the Game of Thrones to get the throne.
Right. So they're distracted.
They're distracted and greedy.
You know, that's a huge bonus on the White Walkers.
Yeah,
They have
know-
like a huge surprise.
they know how greedy they are. So,
Well, I don't
and
know
then,
if they know.
I think he just did it this way, so it felt like Jon Snow had to. Oh my goodness, what is he gonna do? What is Jon Snow gonna do to stop these White Walkers? So I think it was set up that way. So Jon Snow has to basically face him himself.
So, do you think the Donald Trump wall is going to stop the White Walkers from coming over?
Well, I don't know if that's really that situation anymore since that guy died. He was like Donald Trump, the guy who killed Jon Snow and ran the wall for an episode or so.
Right.
He is like a Donald Trump.
Yeah, he was
Kinda.
very much Donald Trump.
He hated immigrants. That was kind of like the message there, I think. Yeah.
I think George R. R. Martin was trying to tell America,
He
don't vote for a
predicted-
racist and a
He
moron.
predicted him like 20 years ago when
Yeah.
he started the book.
Oh, man.
It was kind of like Back to the Future predicted
Or
Trump
1984.
would be president. Did you know that Robert Zemeckis and the writer based Biff in the second Back to the Future on Donald Trump?
No, but it makes total sense why he looks like him.
Yeah.
I thought they were just joking about it during the Screen Junkies Honest trailer.
No, I've heard the writer and Zemeckis say they based that character on him.
Oh my God! So
Donald
right
Trump.
now their minds must be blown.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
They're like, oh,
that writer, I can't remember his name, but he's a good writer, the co-writer for the co-creator of Back to the Future. I can't remember his name. He's well known. He thought it was kind of crazy that this is happening.
Right. Anyway, we're getting way off topic.
Yeah, what are we even talking about? What are we? Oh, Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
Oh.
That's what we were doing.
Damn.
So going back to Game of Thrones.
Whoa.
So Jon Snow, he's leaving. We think he fulfilled his oath. He should be allowed to go. During the hanging scene, and this is very technical, I'm sorry, but it's not story plotish. But they put him on barrels with a board, and when he cuts the rope, they hang him by basically dropping them 1.5 feet. He's guaranteeing that they're going to suffocate to death because that's not how you hang a person. I know this is very weird that I know this, but you have to drop...
Yeah, how many people have you hang?
I like Westerns, and Westerns, they talk about this. That's why the floor has a drop-off, and you drop them at least 6 feet.
I thought it was a very civil death for handling people who just killed you. I thought it was a very nice way of killing them, even if it was kind of harsh.
No, it is harsh, but it is...
He could have done something much worse if he wanted to.
Exactly.
He could have made it a slow and painful, horrible death, but I thought it was a very civil death on his part.
It was a civil death for the fact that, these are people that killed him, but it is guaranteeing they will suffocate to death and not get their neck broke, which is what you're supposed to be doing when you hang someone.
Yeah, he was making sure that it would die.
Yeah.
Man, move it along, Khaleesi. It's so slow. Her story's so slow, agonizing. I want her to just, grab all these people, take the dragons, and just go to King's Landing already.
All right, so how much screen time did she have in the first episode?
Like a scene or two?
And how much did she have in the second episode?
No, scenes.
And how much did she have in the third episode? One scene.
I mean, I'd be really surprised if she actually heads for Westeros in this season.
If
they do, they're gonna rush it, which doesn't make sense. I'd be really surprised if she heads for Westeros. Maybe she just heads for Westeros at the end of the season.
Because I was kind of expecting that the dragons would show up, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, Mother of Dragons,
yeah,
we love you."
That's,
and
that's what we're hoping would happen, but it's not happening yet.
No.
That's what's got to happen now, that they're taking so much time. Something really big and quick has to happen for her to acquire more armies.
And that seems more like a season ender to me, where the dragons show up and they're like, "Oh, we love you, Khaleesi. I'm so sorry." Like the dragons take out people.
Oh, I don't want to wait that long.
I know, right? But they set it up because they're starting the stories.
I don't think it'll be a season ender. That's way too long. You'd have to really slow down her story and keep it slow. It's stupid.
But they did that. They slowed down the story by having the story going on with Tyrion Lannister and Soprano.
Who are you talking about? You need to learn these names. For God's sake, you gotta learn some names. I can't read your mind.
The dude with his balls cut off.
Oh, Varys. Lord
Thank
Varys.
you. Lord Varys.
But I think you meant to say Castrato, not Soprano.
So
wrong HBO show.
So they were promoting her story, but they're moving it along by like showcasing the Castrato, and
he's not really Castrato, so you probably shouldn't address him as that. But go ahead.
Yeah,
he's Lord Varys.
Lord Varys, the Castrato, who doesn't sing, and Tyrion Lannister.
Yeah, I guess I guess that it's part of her. They're part of her story now, so they're moving it along with them. I guess those two guys are trying to figure out, or they kind of started to figure out who started the coup to kill Khaleesi, and it's those three surrounding towns.
And the scene they had with Varys.
I would call him Varys.
Varys. So the scene they had with Varys and the lady, which they don't really name, and he's like, "No, most people would torture you for information, but really, you have a son. I'm going to tell you about your son, and look, I got a boat. You and your son can go and be safe. Here's a bag full of silver. Everything is great and good." And then he gets all the information he wants. Like, he's a huge positive manipulator.
Yeah, I mean, being in King's Landing for so long, he knows how to play the game. He knows how to manipulate. He's not a cruel person, but he's not really a nice person. I guess he could be meaner about it, but he's not. He's just a master manipulator.
Well, and you can say he has learned to kind of subdue his emotion and learn how to manipulate people on a positive level because he doesn't have...
I don't know if it's completely positive, but he has somewhat of a heart. He could have done it in a more cruel way.
Right.
But he doesn't.
He has an understanding of what it's like to have something taken away.
Yeah.
So he kind of uses that as a...
Exactly.
I understand, and I'm going to give you this, give me more.
Yeah. He knows what it feels like to suffer from something. He doesn't want to He doesn't want to put that on anybody else.
Exactly.
But he's not really being that nice. He is manipulating people.
Oh, no, he's totally manipulating for information. But
if you're going to be manipulated, I would be one... If I wanted to be manipulated by someone, it would be by him, because he's probably the nicest manipulator out there.
Yeah, I know. I want a bag full of silver and a boat to another country.
Thanks.
Thank you. I would like that too. I would give you as much information as you want.
Hey, can you sing castrato, or you were just castrated? Okay, sorry. I'm gone.
My bad.
My bad. I won't call you that anymore. I'll call you Lord Varys.
Lord Varys, a.k.a. Castrato.
He's learning names. Area. Told you.
Area!
I told you she get her eyesight back. I told you.
Damn!
I said it to the camera, and I was right. Yeah!
We have it recorded. Do we know which video it was recorded on?
It was the
original?
It was one of the last things I said
on the last video.
on the last video.
Yeah. Eyesight back.
Back. She got it back. She could see.
Damn! They did a training montage. Give her eyesight back. Now, she gets to become an assassin.
No.
No?
More trials and tribulations and training for her.
No assassinating?
Nah. Well, maybe in the future. Probably in the future.
No area ninja shit?
Maybe a little bit. There was kind of like ninja training. Kind of.
There was. I want to see some area ninja shit.
I think it'll just be more training.
More training. But she has her eyesight back.
Yeah, that was pretty badass, her training there. So they'll probably do more of that training.
Yeah, when she put the bow up and stopped the attack,
Yes.
you were like,
Yes.
vocally like, yeah.
I did. I said that. Because it is exciting, right?
Yeah.
She's
You're
getting
like-
her ass kicked this whole time.
I know, it's like a Rocky montage. You're like,
Yeah.
fuck yeah.
At the moment it finally comes together for her mentally.
Right.
All the training.
She is no one.
She's no one. And I sense the bow. Yes!
Yes!
Rickon, man.
Rickon!
We totally forgot about him. He was such a
Dude,
minor
he was like
character.
5 years old the last time we saw him.
I know, and he was such a minor character, even in the books.
I know, and then Tonks went off to do the Harry Potter movies.
Yes.
And then she came back.
Yeah, I can't even remember what happened to him last. It was such a while ago, maybe 2 seasons ago.
Yeah, it was like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
It was crazy. So when we saw him in the episode, I was like, whoa! Of course, the first thing I thought was, Tonks! and then it just like, it popped into my head. I'm like, oh yeah, shit! What happened with them? Because I forgot about that whole thing. It was like 2 or 3 seasons ago.
Yeah, I completely forgot about him. I can't even remember the last scene they were in. And
Like, I don't even know if that's the same actor because I can't
No, it's
remember
the same
what that
actor.
kid looked like.
I was like, Rickon. That's Rickon, foo.
Oh, that is true. You were like, oh man, is that Rickon? And the guy said, Rickon?
Rickon Stark. How do I know you're Rickon,
Rickon Stark.
Oh, yeah, we cut off your direwolf's head. Bleh.
Oh man. They cut off the dire wolf head. They captured Rickon. They got Tonks, and I can't remember her name.
Me neither. Not
But-
Tonks, though.
What?
That's Harry Potter.
What is the purpose of that entire scene?
Well, I was kind of contemplating the same thing. Like, what is the importance? I guess just that he's from Winterfell. He knows all the ins and outs of Winterfell.
So they're captured him to use him to make sure that Snow, because they still think Snow is in control.
I don't
of the,
think Snow even knows what's going on, does he?
No, but from their point of view, they think Snow is in control, and he might want to take over now that he let the.
Yeah, see,
Yeah,
greed blinds people. Like, they don't even know what Jon Snow's going through up there.
Nah. So
I don't think he gives a shit. I don't think Jon Snow, he just is like, White Walkers, how do I deal with these guys? Ah!
Exactly. So they capture him to know the ins and outs of Winterfell. But is that the only purpose? Why would they showcase him in the show if that was the only
guess
purpose?
he can manipulate them somehow because he's holding them captive. But
Maybe he's got some inside information he's just not going to give up right now.
like what?
I don't know. The secret tunnel.
He does know the crypts. Do you remember the crypts?
Yeah.
Where all of those
Right.
kings and I don't know if it has to do anything with that.
So maybe he's going to, like, mess with them. Or at least leave an opening for Snow to come in.
He's
if
a
he needs to.
Stark. He's pretty stubborn. I don't think he's gonna give it Well, he could torture him like Theon, which would be horrible. I would give information if that happened, but
Yeah. But those damn Starks, man, they're a hardy bunch.
they're good people, and they're stubborn about being good and doing goodness.
Samwell is back!
Was he even in the earlier episodes?
Not this season.
Yeah.
None. No Samwell.
We like Samwell.
Samwell is a fat, bearded dude.
He is.
He's a nerd.
I'm fat and bearded.
I'm a nerd and fat and bearded.
We like Samwell.
We like women with children that can't.
We like doing good, nice things for people who need help.
Yes.
We like Samwell.
We like Samwell. We like to learn things.
We do. I like books. He doesn't really like books. I love books and reading.
He's
the
writer and the book reader. I'm the movie guy and the reviewer.
I always had a big soft spot for Samwell.
Oh, I love Samwell. Like so ever since the show started, I love Samwell.
Yeah. I'm glad he's back here doing stuff, barfing or something. At least he's barfing.
At least he's barfing in a bucket.
Yeah.
I would rather have that than nothing.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't get anything for the first 2 episodes. No Samwell whatsoever.
Man, people's stories move so slowly. Like, he's got to get to the Citadel, learn how to be a maester, and you'd think he'd come back to the Wall before the White Walkers get there, or another threat of White Walkers after this group of White Walkers or something. Like, what is he just gonna go learn to be a maester and never come back? I mean,
right.
he's gotta come back eventually.
And
is he just gonna do it real quickly and come back, or
he reads one book? I'm a maester.
I'm a maester. I know everything.
Oh my God! All I needed was that one sentence, and I'm good. No, but like in this episode, they basically just said like Samwell is still alive. He's here. He's throwing up in a bucket, and they just had an argument, kind of, between him and the girl from the other side of the wall about whether or not the wildling, whether or not she would stay with his parents or follow him to the Citadel, but she can't go to the Citadel because no women are allowed inside. So it's like, that was the entire scene, was them just talking about that dynamic of, oh, I trust you wherever we go. But
yeah, they're kind of... I think they're just showing that their characters are still growing. I think that's all that really was.
Right.
Like,
but we didn't get any growth.
She's trusting him more.
She already trusted him a lot.
I know, but they kind of disagreed a lot on a lot of things, even though she went with him.
Right.
Now, it seems like she's becoming more used to it, or she agrees with it, her situation more with Samwell.
She's trusting him more.
I think she even called him the father of her child.
Yeah, she did.
I think that was kind of big.
Yeah, that was huge, because he gave that like lovingly look over her shoulder to the baby. Google? Yeah. The males lovingly look over the females. Google? Looking at the baby. Oh. But I mean, she was basically saying, I don't care who physically fathered him, you are the father of this child.
Yeah, and I trust in you wherever we go or wherever you take me.
So there was more on the character development in the trust of the characters, but they didn't really push the characters' like position or where they're going kind of thing.
Yeah. He's got to get to that Citadel, man.
Yeah, they basically just showed that he's still around and we're going to get some more Samwell.
And they did... I thought it was kind of cool that they talked about Samwell's past. They really only touched on that briefly.
Right! In the first season.
In the books, his dad is mean, and he sent him to the wall to man up. Which isn't really who Samwell is. He's a book nerd. He likes books and learning. He doesn't like real fighting unless he has to. Right, so they
but you will see. I was saying during the show, I was like, oh, maybe we get to see Samwell's family.
Yeah, I guess.
But then they kind of went against that when he was talking about the Citadel, and she didn't want to go to his family. She wanted to go with him wherever he went, and he's like, "No, you can't come to the Citadel."
They'll probably have the next episode. Maybe they'll be at Samwell's family's castle, and he'll be like, "Look what I've done, bitch. I'm gonna go be a fucking maester, man.
I'm gonna be a maester.
Look what I accomplished, you jerk. Standing me to the wall, you dick." Right? He's gonna... Maybe he confronts his father.
Maybe he walks in and be like, "Take care of my woman and my child.
Peace.
I'm about to go become a maester, bitch.
Peace. I'm out of here.
Peace."
Maester time.
Maester time. Is that like a beer thing?
I don't know. I just said it. I don't even know it. It means it's learning to be a maester time.
Learn to be a maester time. But I was really excited about seeing his family. So maybe they will touch on that in the future episodes.
I think book readers are probably more excited about that little part because they really don't talk about his past. I think the last time they talked about Samuel's past was the first season. Like, it was really quick. It was maybe one episode.
I might be more excited about seeing his family than most the TV viewers that didn't read the books, because I relate to Samwell. So I would want to see his family. Like, I'm really excited about seeing his family.
We like his character so much, we're still talking about his character. He's like kind of a minor character, but
I love that guy.
I hope he confronts his dad and stands up to him. That would be cool, right?
Exactly. I would love it. No Stannis.
Still no Stannis Baratheon. I mean, I don't know if people really care about him, but you can't really end his last scene like that and not... He's still alive. I mean, you gotta close... Even if you kill him really quick, you gotta close off his character somehow. What? So what's happening with him?
Right, it felt like they just basically showed him, like, fighting off people at the end of the last season.
That was it.
And that was it. So, the way they're treating him in this season, it's more of like, oh no, he's dead.
Or they're not even talking about him.
Exactly, so it's like they're treating him as dead.
They gotta eventually talk about him at least.
I would hope so.
I would hope there would be another scene with him. Maybe he comes back to the wall.
If they don't do something with him in the next episode, I think that he's probably going to show up like one time and then be done in one episode.
I'm still hoping he comes across Sansa, but maybe they're already Sansa and Brienne. They weren't in this episode, but maybe they come across each other.
That makes sense. Maybe they're waiting for the continuation of the Sansa-Brienne storyline to bring Stannis into the story. Like, maybe Stannis finds them because, Sansa and Brienne weren't in this episode. Mm-hmm. Neither was Theon. Mm-hmm. None.
No Greyjoys.
However, we only got 1 hour, and we got like 15 stories going on at the same time. So it makes sense that some people are going to be left out. However, if your theory is right about Stannis kidnapping Sansa or connecting with her in some way,
you'd think they'd come across each other because they're basically like a mile from each other, or 100 feet.
Well, they were within the same battle.
Yeah, they're maybe 100 feet from each other even.
So if Sansa... Because Sansa is really the main focus of whatever story is going on around her. Whether it be Brienne or whatever's going on, Sansa is the main focus. So if Sansa's not in this episode, you're not going to see Brienne, Theon, or possibly Stannis, because Stannis is so close, and Stannis might be a part of her story now.
That's true, but in the books, they gave Brienne her own chapters.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, she got whole chapters of just her.
Of her focus.
Wow. Well, in the
but
episodes...
she never... I mean, she never met up with Sansa. They would be in the 6th book if they do. But they know... Before that, it was Brienne. She had her own chapters. After the Jaime Brienne thing. Or even during that. So Jaime would have a chapter, and then maybe Brienne... She would have a chapter.
Because in the last season, I think Brienne had like 2 episodes which had story parts that were focused on her, like chapters that were focused on her. Except for the parts where she's with Jaime Lannister.
Yeah, Jaime.
Yeah.
Jamie's.
Jamie.
Jamie's Lannister.
Yeah. Anyway.
He wears pajamas.
He wears pajamas.
He fights people.
With his left hand.
Ting,
Ting, ting,
Jamie,
ting, ting, ting.
Jamie's Jamie Lannister.
But
Jamie's Lannister.
The only episodes that she was in were either with him or by herself with... I think they had like maybe 2 or 3 episodes where she's by herself with the... Podrick, yeah. But they had more than that in the book?
Yeah, her character's a little bit bigger in the book. Like even from... If I'm not mistaken, even from like the second season when Catelyn Stark sends her off to tell her daughters or find her daughters.
Right.
Like I think even back then she had her own chapters.
Well, I think in the show she had maybe like one episode that focused more on her.
I think she was like a cool character he came up with, and then he liked her and added her some more. I think that's probably probably something that happened.
Do you think she was like a character where he's like, I kind of like her, I'm going to let her live?
Is he that demented? Maybe. Writers are demented.
You're a writer.
I'm demented.
There you go. But do you
I
think
think he liked
no?
I think he liked the character, and he's like, I'm gonna give her more stuff. I like her, and then I think it was great when she was with Jaime Lannister. All that back and forth.
I loved that.
That's perfect. Like that.
Yeah.
Their two characters going together like that. That's meeting together. I think that was great. That's a good story.
Well, that was one of my favorite things of that season was them like interacting and like getting to know each other, and then you could see both of their characters like change a little bit.
Yeah.
But they would change.
Yeah.
I loved that. I loved that.
That was good.
And we didn't really get that for any other show. Like no other two characters actually changed each other like that. Can you think of any other characters that interacted with each other through Game of Thrones that changed each other in that way? They all seem to, except for Arya and the no one.
And characters change other characters all the time.
But not to that extreme, right?
I don't know about maybe like there's both stubborn and unmoving in their characters. That's probably why you like that so much. It's because they're both strong-willed people, and they're both,
right.
they're both like arguing and talking back and forth all the time. That's probably why it was so cool, because they were both very strong characters.
Yeah, like I saw them at the time. Like,
but they pair up characters all the time. They paired up Arya with the Hound.
Right.
They paired up Tyrion with Varys.
I think what it is, well, Tyrion and Varys, I like that one. I like those.
Yeah,
because
those guys
they
need to stay together.
They bounce.
They're
bounce
both
mental.
highly intelligent.
Yeah, they know. But yeah, I really love their relationship and how these two really strong characters collided, but didn't like kill each other. They end up liking each other and evolving because of each other. Now, I think part of it is because Jaime lost his arm. He had to kind of...
At moments, he needed her.
Right, he needed her.
And at moments, she needed him, even though she wouldn't want to admit that.
Right. But they both learned that, I'm not the best in the world. I may have to rely on someone.
Yeah, they're both really good knights, I guess.
Yeah.
They're both one of the best warriors, knights out there. And they collide with each other and banter and argue and change
and awesome
and grow and awesome.
Raisin Bran!
Bran the man.
He aged like 3 years overnight. He was gone for a year on the show and went through puberty.
Yeah, in the books he's still like 8 years old. So it's kind of
That's
weird.
crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of weird to see him this old.
But it kind of makes sense what they did with the show because you want to keep the same actor.
Yes.
Max Van Stow, he is inside the tree. And he basically tells him, you know, they do another backflash montage with,
Well, it wasn't a montage. It was just a backflash.
yeah, they do a backflash with Ned Stark.
Ned Stark.
And you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, what did he say? Did you catch what he said?
No, I didn't. And I'm hoping you would tell me because you said I would get it. And you won't say because we're not on video. So what was it?
He says he was looking for his sister. Did you hear that?
No.
He said to that guard, "Is my sister here?" Or "I'm looking for my sister. Where's my sister?"
The crazy one that has the floor that opens and they can drop people down?
No, that's Caitlyn Stark's sister.
Oh.
I'm talking about the sister that might support the huge theory.
Oh! Oh shit! That just popped. Oh! You mean the R plus
Yeah. R
L
plus,
like equals
R
J?
plus A, B, C, D, F, G equals Z. I don't know.
R plus L equals... Yes!
So he's looking for his sister.
Oh, so that means that they are...
Maybe that's part of the... Maybe it's kind of vague or small, but maybe that's what that's leading to.
No,
maybe
that makes sense. That means that he...
Bran finds out that Jon Snow...
Right.
Yeah.
That's how Bran is going to find out that Jon Snow...
Not Samwell. I thought Samwell would find out, but maybe
Bran
Maybe
doesn't.
Bran finds out that Jon Snow is a Targaryen.
So that castle thing, that's a tower of some... Is that something in the book?
No. I don't know. This is all new to me. So, but he did say, "Where's my sister?" or "Is my sister here?" And then he fought the dude. The theory that Ned Stark's sister slept with a Targaryen and had Jon Snow, and so he is Targaryen.
And then Ned Stark just raised him.
So
he didn't actually cheat. He's not the daddy's.
That's the theory. And then, but he still would be a bastard, so I don't know how that works out.
Well, bastards are awesome.
Yeah, I like bastards.
Well,
but that was like a cool little detail. Maybe he was asking for his sister, so maybe more of Ned Stark's sister comes into the story. Maybe it was just a small stupid thing. I don't know.
Yeah,
But I thought it was kind of cool.
I never actually looked up that R plus L J.
Yeah, I only
whatever.
told you about it. Do you understand it?
No, I never looked it up.
But I just explained it. Do you understand it still?
Yeah, that the sister of Ned had sex with a Targaryen. The son is
one of
now
the Targaryen, like the Targaryen king.
the king.
Yeah, the Mad King.
So the Jon Snow is the son of the Mad King with the Stark sister, and Ned raised him as a bastard.
Exactly.
All right.
But that's maybe that's a hint or a segue into the more of that story. I hope so.
Well, what's with they kept showing the castle.
It was. I don't know if it was.
Was that important?
I think that was just where his sister was. I think he was
Right.
going. So he was going up to get to save his sister.
Right. But
the guy cut it off. What does that mean? The guy, Three-Eyed Crow, cut it off there.
like he didn't want him to know what. Well, yeah, exactly. The Three-Eyed Crow cut him off, which means that he doesn't want him to know Jon Snow's lineage.
Maybe.
Or he doesn't want the viewers to know Jon Snow's lineage.
Whoa, maybe this is all happening.
Now, I do want to mention this. I don't know why this popped back into my head, and it's very geeky and nerdy, and I'm very sorry.
No,
but
that's cool, man.
during the fight scene at the tower or the castle, whatever, when young Ned Stark has his soldiers over, there's two soldiers that are protecting the castle, right? Neither one had a shield. They both had double swords. Everyone else on Ned's side had the sword and the shield. So from D&D nerdness, you have extra protection from a shield, but you have extra attack from double swords. So if you have double swords, you're able to block kind of, but you can attack double more. But if you have a shield, you can block a lot more, but attack about half as much. And I found it very interesting that they did that, in that the two soldiers that they would put at the front line of the castle were double swords, which means that they are amazing. They are amazing warriors. That they don't need a shield.
Bran even said it. Did you catch it? My dad is a better fighter than I thought. Did he say something like that?
No, he said my dad is not as good as I thought.
Oh, sorry.
Because the other guy came in and stabbed him in the back, and it was like, oh, because he said, I heard this story a million times.
Yeah, that was a cool little detail that they had two swords. That's different.
Because that means that character or that warrior is like uber amazing.
Well,
they don't need a shield.
Well, you can still block. You can still block the shield and have more attack. You were saying that. You choose your weapons, and that was an interesting choice, I think.
So I think that's everything we have to say about the episode.
I think
anything more?
I don't think so.
I mean, we talked for a shit long time.
Yes, shitload long and big.
So, what are your guys' thoughts? Did we miss something? Did we get it wrong? Comment below. Let us know. Like, share, subscribe. Tell your friends. And I will see you on the next video. Biatch.
What?